On September 1, 1855, a 16-year-old boy began his first real job. He was hired as a clerk and bookkeeper for Huitt and Tuttle. They were commissioned merchants in Cleveland, Ohio. His pay was $3.50 per week. By any standard, he was a low-level employee. He had no ownership in the firm. He had no authority to make decisions. He was paid to record transactions. Yet John D. Rockefeller did not behave like a clerk. He behaved like the owner of the company. This distinction in mindset is where the foundation of the greatest fortune in history was laid. Rockefeller did not simply enter data into ledgers. He scrutinized the data. He treated the company books as his personal responsibility. He began to audit shipping bills with an intensity that was unusual for a teenager. He looked for errors. He searched for discrepancies. He found mistakes that the senior partners had missed. By identifying these errors, he saved Huitt and Tuttle thousands of dollars. He was not asked to do this. It was not part of his job description. He did it because he viewed the efficiency of the business as his own problem to solve. This was the beginning of a system of ownership. For Rockefeller, ownership was not a legal status. It was a mental state. Most employees view their work as a trade. They trade a set amount of time for a set amount of money. In that trade, the employee does what they are told. They wait for instructions. They avoid responsibility for the overall outcome of the business. They do not care if the company loses money as long as their paycheck arrives. Rockefeller rejected this trade. He adopted a high agency approach. High agency is the refusal to accept a limitation. It is the drive to find a way to get a result regardless of the obstacles. Instead of acting like a tool used by the company, he acted like the operator of the company. He viewed every task as a trial. Every ledger was a test of his precision. Every shipping bill was an opportunity to find waste. This discipline extended beyond his employer. Around the same time, Rockefeller started his own personal ledger. He called it Ledger. In this book, he recorded every single penny he earned and every single penny he spent. He tracked the smallest expenses with the same rigor he applied to the books at Huitt and Tuttle. This was not mere budgeting. This was surveillance. He wanted a perfect map of his financial reality. He understood that you cannot control what you do not measure. By measuring everything, he gained control. He treated his clerkship as a rehearsal. He used the job to learn how a business actually functioned. He did not just learn where the numbers went. He learned why they moved. He studied the flow of goods. He analyzed the cost of transport. He observed the relationship between the merchants and their suppliers. He was getting paid $3.50 a week to receive a master class in commerce. While other clerks were counting the hours until the end of the day, Rockefeller was auditing the mechanics of wealth. This mindset created a natural tension. There is a gap between the expectations of a junior employee and the output of an operator. Most managers want clerks to be invisible. They want them to follow the process and not disrupt the flow. But Rockefeller was not invisible. His obsession with accuracy made him indispensable. He proved that he could provide more value to the firm than the firm provided in wages to him. This is the core of the ownership mindset. You make yourself so valuable that the traditional boundaries of your job title no longer apply. This habit of extreme precision did not disappear when Rockefeller left Huitt and Tuttle. It scaled. When he later founded Standard Oil, he did not leave the bookkeeping to others. He remained obsessed with the details. He tracked the cost of every barrel of oil. He monitored the price of every rail car. He knew the exact cost of the twine used to tie the barrels. His competitors often relied on intuition. They guessed their margins. They estimated their costs. Rockefeller did not guess. He had the data. Because he had treated his first job like a business empire, He knew how to run a business empire with the precision of a clerk. He outcalculated his competition. He identified waste that others ignored. He turned small savings into massive advantages. The discipline he developed for $3.50 a week became the engine of a monopoly. The outcome was a level of control that the industry had never seen. Standard Oil did not grow by accident. It grew because Rockefeller applied a clerk's eye to a tycoon's scale. He understood that a large company is simply a collection of small expenses. If you can control the small expenses, you can control the entire organization. This is the direct result of his time at Huitt and Tuttle. He learned that the person who controls the numbers controls the business. The lesson for the modern operator is clear. Most people wait for a title before they take ownership. They wait to be promoted to manager before they start suggesting improvements. They wait to become a partner before they care about the bottom line. This is a mistake. Ownership is not something granted by a contract. It is something you claim through your actions. If you treat your current role as a mere trade of time for money, you will only ever receive a paycheck. If you treat your role as a rehearsal for your future empire, you will acquire a skill set that no one can take from you. You must act as if the entire firm rests on your shoulders. You must automate the mundane tasks. You must lead before you are given a title. You must audit your own performance with the same rigor that Rockefeller applied to those shipping bills. Treat your current job as a laboratory. Use it to test systems. Use it to learn how value is created. Use it to practice the discipline of precision. When you treat your work as if you own the company, you stop being an expense and start being an asset. This shift in perspective changes the nature of your employment. You are no longer working for a boss. You are working for your own development. The distance between a clerk and a billionaire is not just a matter of capital. It is a matter of agency. It is the difference between waiting for instructions and seeking results. John D. Rockefeller did not need to own the company to act like the owner. He simply decided that the quality of the work was his responsibility. He built his empire in the margins of a $3.50 a week job. Subscribe to Legacy Library for more decoded wealth systems.